Ooh, guys, I know everybody's been asking about when the judge is going to rule in the Sitzer Burnett trial. So we finally have at least a sense of when this is going to happen. I'm going to share that with you. I want to give you an update on this second lawsuit that the same lawyer filed. I also want to talk to you about the DOJ and his talks with the lawyer as well, among many other things. But first off, check out this little spot that I'm at. I'm still in Miami. I spoke at the South Florida Real Estate Forum yesterday, and hey, it was a blast. It was 5,000 people. I've actually never been. Well, I've been to an event that big, but not in such a small place. It was really packed out. It was a real madhouse. It was a zoo, but it was really cool. Met a lot of people and made a lot of connections, and enjoyed it. So, you know, props to the Real Deal for putting that on. Anyway, let's dive in here. I took some notes here on what all I found. So, Michael Ketchmark, the attorney for the plaintiffs in the case, he says he's been talking with the DOJ, Department of Justice, before, during, and after the verdict. And he said disrupting NAR's use of MLSs as a vehicle for higher commissions is what these talks are about. You know, so think about that for a second. Disrupting NAR's use of using the MLSs, so they feel like that NAR is using the MLSs as a vehicle for higher commissions. Is that true? Are they using MLSs for a vehicle for higher commissions? I mean, think about the fact that NAR does not get paid based on commissions. They don't set commissions, they don't receive commissions, and they don't even track commissions. So, you know, but then one could argue, well, but they get paid membership fees from people who do. And the more agents that are in the business, the more money they'll make. And if the commissions are higher, then more people will be in the business. So that's the other side of the argument. Totally get that side of the argument. However, you know, they go on to say that, you know, he wishes, and his aim here is to kind of drive real estate into more of a free market. And if you look at free markets, and I talked about this in the video, you know, a couple videos ago about the Northwest MLS in Washington State. They did away with the fact that the participation rule, the cooperative compensation rule, in 2019. Real estate agents were scared to death. I've talked to some of these agents. They were scared to death when it happened. They thought that buyer agents would go away, you know, agents would leave the business, you know, commissions would go down. Guess what happened? 99.75, even after being disclosed, you don't have to pay the buyer agent commission. 99.75, let's just call it 100% of listings in that MLS offer a buyer agent commission, which means the seller decided by choice that that was what was best. By choice. Look at these Ferraris in here. That's actually an electric one. So is this one right here. I'm not a big car guy. I've got a Tesla, and it's like the last car I'm ever gonna have. Like, nah. I told Carlin, like, one day, you know, later I might buy like a really fancy car one day, but it's nothing that's like a goal. It's nothing that's like, I gotta have this, I'm working towards this is my goal, all that stuff. Anyways, I would call that a free market, one where the seller chooses to still offer, and 95% out of the 100% who still offer the buyer agent commission offer more than 2%, which means that you're still seeing the 5 to 6%, even though it's by choice, even though you know, it's disclosed, they still do it. That's the free market. Now here's the other side of the argument, and I think this is really important when we're thinking about this, because mostly real estate agents are watching my channel here. So my thoughts are, okay, well, NAR you had to offer a buyer agent commission to put a listing into MLS. Okay, I get that. And what you're saying, Mr. Lawyer or plaintiffs or whoever, the jury, whatever, you're saying that that was wrong and that that was price fixing and that that shouldn't have been a rule. And so if you take the rule away and you still do the same, the market still operates the same way. If you take the rule away and then now listings are being taken at 5 and 6% with half going to the buyer agent, just like they were before. Okay, let's say, because that's what's happened in Northwest MLS. If you do it nationwide, in my opinion, the same results are going to happen. The market is the market, and this is the market. What we've been doing is the market. Even though people want to say, oh, this is, it's rigged and it's inflated and it's unfair and it's price fixing and all that stuff, they can argue all they want to. They're just, that's the same people that are mad about prices going up on everything. But if you take it away, take the rule away, and the market operates exactly the same and nothing changes, then you argue, well, yeah, maybe having that rule is technically price fixing. However, it's what we're doing is still the market. And the lawyer says, well, okay, take the rule away. You can take the rule away, but the fact is by law, you were still price fixing according to the Sherman antitrust, laws. And so you can take the rule away, but then what about all the people? What about all the buyers? Well, the sellers, in this case, there's another case with buyers, and that's another thing that's really like, okay, this is a real money grab here. But the lawyer's saying, okay, well, it was price fixing. Now you want to take the rule away. Even if the market operates the same way, it doesn't matter. You were technically still price fixing. So what about all the people from the past that have damages due to the price fixing by law? Even though when you take the rule away, nothing changes. I find this incredibly interesting. And the lawyer says he wants this, he wishes real estate would move more towards working in a fair market, a free market. Well, a free market will produce the same results. You can argue it all you want to. You can say that, oh no, real estate agents, would go away. We don't need them. We can have a lawyer handle everything. What you'll find is the same thing that these buyers and sellers found in that Northwest MLS. Now, let's dig in here a little further and talk about this new case. It's actually called Gibson, based on its lead plaintiff, right? The second one that the same lawyer filed moments after the verdict happened on the Sitzer Burnett trial. He said, as far as the DOJ goes, there's very significant and ongoing talks, and their aim is to shake up how the real estate industry operates. No, they're not. They're trying to make $1 billion so they can provide a really nice life for the family. And I get that, use the law to go make a bunch of money, good for you. This new case, Gibson, what's so significant about it is that it's a $200 billion case, right? It's estimated at $200 billion, all right, with treble damages up to $600 billion. So why is Ketchmark in the talks with DOJ, Department of Justice? Why, has been talking before, during, and after the trial? Well, he's trying to push the fact that he really believes in what he's saying here, and he has to push that envelope as far as he can. Why not? Just a couple of phone calls to solidify the fact that he's, the head, the lead counsel on this case to win. Hey, he's looking at what, $200 billion on this next case? And the reason this one is so big, the reason why this second one is so much bigger, because the first one was a 1.78 billion, trebled up to 5.3 billion. The reason why this one is 200 million, trebled up to 600 billion, is because he's opening this one up nationwide. For anybody that sold a property using a realtor which he doesn't even know how to pronounce realtor. He says realtor. It's really funny. Nevertheless, that's how ignorant he is about our industry. Sorry, Mr. Ketchmark, you are. And honestly, I don't even know if you are. You may just be playing. You may just be a great actor, and that very well could be the case. I don't know you, but the fact is that this second one, Gibson, goes back 4 years. Anybody that sold a house, using the MLS within the last 4 years, you can get in on this lawsuit anywhere in the country. That's why they're estimating this one to be so big. All right, he says they're in alignment with what the DOJ wants, to make real estate part of the free market and get NAR out of the rigging the system. We think this is real opportunity for change. Okay. So that's a good update on that second trial. The talks with DOJ, between Ketchmark, DOJ, he's really pushing the envelope with them, trying to get them involved. I mean, the more involved he can get them, the higher his chances are that he's going to win. Of course he's going to do that. Anything that's going to up his chances here. And even though, and it's like, how are you going to sleep at night? Right? When you go and you take out all these corporations and make all these billions of dollars, and the rule changes to more of a free market, and then nothing changes. And here you are, you've made billions of dollars off companies that didn't make the rule, right? National Association of Realtors made the rule. So these brokerages didn't make the rule. They didn't conspire. Sorry, they did not conspire with, right? They followed the rule to be able to advertise listings to buyers, get the highest price for their seller, and give buyers affordable representation and exposure to all the listings in the market. What is wrong with that? And so how are you going to sleep at night? How are you going to go to sleep knowing you made billions off corporations that weren't even doing anything wrong? And after all this is said and done, nothing changes. How are you going to sleep at night? I wouldn't sleep too well. I could never be in your business or do what you do. No way. No way. For me, it's the same thing as defending murderers that are guilty. We talked about the cooperative compensation rule, participation rule. It requires the listing brokers to offer a buyer agent commission to put their properties in MLS. Okay, and that's what this is all about. There's a rule. You got to put at least $1 for the buyer agent commission. You got to put at least $1, and to be able to submit that listing in MLS. And because that rule's there, then they evidently conspired to raise commissions. And I get the other side of the argument, but in a free market, if nothing changes, then how strong is that argument? He said the talks with DOJ and the think tanks, okay, there's a group of people called the think tanks. They won't disclose who these people are. The talks of the DOJ and the think tanks are centered around putting NAR out of the business of using MLSs as a vehicle for higher commissions. He said, this is one of the rare things, this is Ketchmark, one of the rare things in our country where regardless of politics, people can come together. Everyone agrees we have to get NAR out of the pockets of homeowners. It's not right, and the jury exposed it for what it was. I don't know. I honestly think the jury, it was mostly men. And from what I understand, these were people who actually had grievances against real estate agents, complaints against real estate agents in the past, some of these people. The general public doesn't understand the complexity of this, obviously, based on the comments on my videos. Most of these people that comment never did a deal, and the ones that do, listen, there are savvy people out there that can go do the deals on their own, and 10% of people who do transactions do them on their own. Great, that's awesome. Go do it on your own. Let more people do deals on their own if they can do it. but there's always going to be the majority who can't. Okay, if you can, awesome. Not talking to you. You don't need our services? Awesome. Not talking to you. The people that need our services, talking to you. You know, we're here to help you. This isn't a battle of, you know, if real estates are needed at all. That's a horrible argument. It's very obvious that they are needed. They would be gone a long time ago. There wouldn't be 1.6 million plus how many ever aren't a part of the National Association of Realtors. We would not be here right now if we weren't needed. He said, our goal is to make real changes and go nationwide. Okay, and that's why that the other case, he's going nationwide with the other case. And he was kind of referring, when he said real change, to that tweak that NAR made, going from $1 compensation to the buyer's agents to $0. And he said that they made a little tweak, but it's getting the same results, right? And he said he don't want to keep playing the whack-a-mole game. He wants to unplug the whole whack-a-mole machine. Go ahead, bro. Unplug that sucker. They've already done that in other places, and we get the same results. And if you make it to where it's a law that you can't offer the buyer agent commission, you know what? Because it is the free market, and because that is what people want, and people in the comments of this video, they'll argue, no, that is not, you know, that's how delusional you are, Ricky. You don't even realize that that's, you know, people don't want to pay this, that. Dude, a buyer does not come out of pocket. Well, they pay it in the purchase price, and you've got an agent negotiating for you, handling the whole thing, walking you through the whole process. Like, if it's not worth that to you, go do it on your own. It is a free market, and it is your choice. Why are you using an agent then? So a spokesman from NAR, Montel Williams, says the cooperative compensation practice makes efficient, transparent, and accessible marketplaces possible. Sellers sell for more and get more exposure, while buyers have more options and can afford representation. It hardly seems fair that without the practice, wealthy people could still afford representation. Basically saying a lot of people aren't going to be able to afford representation if you take this away. Every American should be able to work with an expert in the most expensive and complex transaction that most people will ever do in their life. It's concerning that the class action attorneys still don't understand how marketplaces work. She also reiterated what I said earlier, that the NAR attorney in court said NAR doesn't track, receive, or get any commissions, or set any commissions. They don't receive, track, or set commissions whatsoever. Again, one could argue, well, the people that pay them fees do. Okay, whatever. Take it out, see what happens. Guys, this is going to play out. This is going to play out. Like, the market is the market. The reason why real estate agents charge what they charge, and buyers and sellers willing, they feel, okay, they're trying to say they're forced to pay the commissions now, but later when they're paying the same commissions when they're not forced, what are you going to say then? Because that's what's going to happen, because agents can't go any lower. After you pay taxes, pay your broker split, pay your business expenses. This isn't W-2. We have business expenses. You may be working a W-2 thinking, oh, if I got a $30,000 check, oh my God, a $30,000 check. Yep, you got your broker split, all the business expenses, paid your taxes. W-2, taxes come out off the top. We got to pay that. Okay, the final judgment on this from Judge Stephen R. Bowe is going to be within 30 days, right? That's what they're telling us, within 30 days. I've been suspicious of that from the get-go. Why is it taking so long? Who are they consulting with? What is happening behind the scenes? We'll be standing on pins and needles for that. Once that happens, then everybody's already said they're going to appeal. They're going to ask for reduced damages. They'll have to post a bond showing that they can pay. If the damages aren't reduced, they'll have to post a bond. They'll have a bond hearing for that to set the amount that they'll have to post to show that they can pay the original damages, whatever the court, whatever the judge ruling is. And also, what I find interesting is November 20th, the judge is going to hold a hearing on the preliminary approval of the proposed settlement with Anywhere and Remax, right? And that's going to include both the Sitzer Burnett trial and the Morrill case that's coming up. They're combining those settlements. So that so Remax and Anywhere, they offered to settle before the trial. Nothing happened with it. It's like everybody just sat on that till after the verdict, and now November 20th. So I wonder if that November 20th date has anything to do with the court, with the judge ruling. If he plans on ruling before then or after then, we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, leave your comments below. I'm going to keep you updated as always, and I appreciate you so much. See you in the next video. Let's go.